Canada's Conservative government recently introduced legislation that would attempt to crack down on software and media piracy. Unfortunately, the legislation that has been introduced is fundamentally broken. Under the legislation in its current form, Canadians would be legally allowed to copy media such as music, TV shows, movies, and ebooks in order to play them across multiple devices. However, if said file in question has a so-called digital lock in place, Canadians would be unable to legally copy that media. This means that content creators can place simple encryption on DVDs, CDs, or Blu-ray discs, which would make Canadians legally unable to copy them. I think it's entirely possible that in the near future police could be banging down on people's doors demanding thousands of dollars in penalties for simply copying one DVD. I have two reports, one from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and the other from Global Television.
A phone and an iPod.
A television and a PVR, a tablet, and a couple of Blackberries.
Francine Filion and her daughter Rosie consume a lot of media. They didn't know that recording TV programs on their PVR is against the law now.
No, I did not know that.
The new copyright bill will make PVRing legal. But copying a DVD you've bought to a laptop? Most DVDs have digital locks that prevent copying. Under the new bill, tampering with that lock will be illegal.
If somebody hacks into a piece of software, gets around a digital lock, takes that piece of software, manipulates it, or puts it online, or gives it to their friends and throws it up on BitTorrent and destroys a business model, that's a problem.
And the shows on that PVR? You will have to delete them soon after you've watched them.
Time shifting is really all about, I can't watch True Blood tonight, but I can watch it tomorrow.
But will the police knock down your door if you keep a library of shows or even break a digital lock? Probably not, according to this copyright expert.
I mean, that's not the way copyright is supposed to work. It's happened in the past, it could happen again, but I don't think that's the plan.
The proposed legislation will come down hard on those who provide software to break digital locks or host illegal downloading sites, with fines as high as $1 million. This law also sets penalties for consumers who download from those sites, up to $500 per download. The opposition says the digital lock provisions trump consumers' rights.
The bill is not balanced yet, because they're saying as long as a corporation puts a digital lock and prevents you from accessing something you purchased or something that you need to use in school, well, too bad.
The government says this legislation is the same, word for word, as its last copyright bill, which died when the election was called. It hopes to have this one passed in the House by Christmas. Leslie McKinnon, CBC News, Ottawa.
So what exactly is a digital lock? They're found on all sorts of digital media, in music on your iPod, books on your e-reader, and the games you download. So the so-called locks are actually software built in to restrict the file and make sure it's not copied or sold illegally.
This Ottawa game developer's latest offering will be available online next month for $10, but thousands could be playing it before then for free.
We will get alerts that our game is available for free download on some BitTorrent site or some file sharing site before it's actually even released properly.
The industry estimates up to 2 million pirated copies of games are downloaded each year. Add to that music, movies, TV shows, and artists are losing millions.
We're not tabling nearly the same bill as last time. We're tabling exactly the same bill as last time.
After 3 failed attempts, the Conservatives are flexing the majority muscle to fast forward their embattled copyright bill into law by Christmas. But the opposition is hitting pause.
Artists aren't winning because millions in royalties are being removed. Students aren't winning because they're going to have a difficult time accessing some educational materials they should. Certain rights holders, the large corporate interests, will benefit. It's not balanced yet.
The outcry is over so-called digital locks used to prevent content from being shared. Whether you're a big pirating site or just an everyday Canadian copying a DVD, if you break the lock, you could be fined $5,000. Proponents insist they're not after students and parents here.
Frankly, even the fact that we have no interest in doing it, it's not economically viable to do it. We are interested in going after those who facilitate widespread infringement, who facilitate widespread piracy.
But that scene is already playing out in court. Makers of Hollywood blockbuster The Hurt Locker are going after Canadians who shared illegal copies. Some experts worry Canada's lock will be too tight.
But where you're a consumer, a student, a range of different people, a journalist, exercising your basic fair dealing or other consumer rights in the Copyright Act, you ought to be able to continue to do that.
Though the Conservatives say they're willing to listen to suggestions in committee, the minister made it pretty clear today he's only interested in technical tweaks to close any legal loopholes. The main content is essentially locked. Donna?
Shirley Engel in Ottawa, thanks.
Finally, it is interesting to note that Canadians currently pay a digital copying levy on blank recording media such as cassette tapes and CD-ROMs. The levy amounts to 30 cents per CD, or thereabouts, which is an astronomically high price when you consider that, on sale, the unit price of a CD is actually less than the levy you're paying. So, judges in the past have ruled that because Canadians are paying this copying levy, it is actually legal for them to make copies of their music. Now that the government's going to go ahead and essentially make this illegal, does that mean they're going to eliminate the levy? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. After all, the Canadian government does collect tax on top of that levy, so it would definitely not be in their financial best interest to eliminate it. Finally, I'm left wondering where exactly this leaves BitTorrent users. I use BitTorrent quite frequently to download TV shows from the United States and from other countries around the world. Now, this is content that is simply not available in Canada, and I'm wondering in the future where this is going to leave me. One thing's for certain, though, it might be time for people such as myself to invest in a European seed box to continue enjoying all of that out-of-market television content. For iNet, this is Christopher reporting.